Is that all you got, Detective Mullins?
Is that all I got? What?
Is that all the evidence as a detective leading this case for the Commonwealth of Kentucky? Is that all you got?
I've got a POA, I've got the original will,
You brought a file with you?
I've got a book,
May I approach
yes.
the witness?
Yes.
May I see what you brought to the witness stand with you, please? Is this your entire investigation file?
No. I've got a box back in my office.
The documents that are in this file here, do you know whether all of these documents were produced in discovery?
Most, my interviews, the deeds, pictures.
You said that Ann told you that she cashed in the CD to pay the nursing home bill.
Yes,
Is that the same nursing home bill that the accounts receivable lady from Charleston Healthcare testified to that Ann paid?
that's the only nursing home that I'm aware of, so
It would have to be that.
that's what I'm thinking.
So you agree with me that Ann's statement to you that she had to pay the nursing home bill was a true statement? She did pay the nursing home bill according to the accounts receivable lady from Charleston Health Facility.
Do I know she paid it? Or
Well, you heard the lady testify that she paid that bill. The $11,000 bill that Ann paid that brought the account balance.
when I look at, when I look at the records, the money didn't go towards the nursing home, but that's what she told me, that that money went towards.
Right, but you heard the lady from Charleston, whose name was, I gotta look here, her name was Susie Kelly, and she testified that in July, specifically on August 28th, 2010, Ann paid the bill and brought the account current with the nursing home. You heard her testify that.
Yes, I did.
So, and I understand you're saying you don't have that record, you don't know for sure whether that's true or not. But if that's true, according to what the witness told us, Ms. Kelly with Charleston, then Ann's statement to you that she paid the nursing home bill was a true statement. Agreed?
I asked her about the insurance money. That money went
But
into
I'm not
the,
asking you about that.
oh, I thought that's what you asked me. Did
No,
that
we're
insurance
talking about
money
the
went?
CD. She told, you said
Oh, the
that Ann
CDs.
told you she cashed the CD in to pay the nursing home bill. My point is, do you agree with me that the lady from Charleston said that Ann paid the nursing home bill?
With those CD monies?
$11,000.
With the CD money?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking? The bank record, after I got the bank records, it doesn't show that. But at the time she told me that, I didn't know. I had to take it at face value.
Okay. But you agree that she paid $11,000 bill at Charleston?
According to Charleston, yes.
According to Charleston?
Yes.
And Charleston's not gonna come in here and say they got paid back?
I would hope
They
not.
didn't?
I would hope not.
And you said Ann told you she had some receipts for the work that was done on the home, and that she told you she would get you those, that a lawyer in Louisville had those, and that you're still waiting to this day on those receipts?
Yes.
Okay, but you didn't wait for those receipts before you went and presented this case to a grand jury. If you're still waiting on them, then you presented to the grand jury before you had completed your investigation, correct?
Yes, I did wait. We waited. Carl Graham waited. We even attempted some calls. I even called Phineas Price. And
You never got it.
no,
And you agree with me that Ann Rush has no obligation on the planet Earth to even talk to you.
I guess that's why we're here.
She has no obligation to give you those receipts. She has no obligation to answer your questions. She did that on her own free will, cooperating with you, correct? She could have said, I've got a lawyer in Louisville, which she did say to you.
Yes.
But she could have said, I don't want to talk to you, talk to my lawyer.
Yes.
But she didn't. She talked to you and she explained to you the work on the home. She told you she had receipts. She did that, didn't she?
Yes, that's what she said.
And she didn't have to produce receipts to you, did she?
No, she didn't.
And you said you're waiting on those receipts. Do you know about when the Cabinet for Health and Family Services came in and took over in September, that they took control of the home?
When
You're
the
aware of
freeze
that?
was on and Is it
sorry?
when the freeze on the count or when they
Yes,
sold
ma'am.
it?
When they first came in and they took charge.
Yes.
And they became the appointed guardian and conservator.
Yes, I knew all that was happening.
And they took over and they froze the accounts.
Yes.
And Ann Rush at that point she was out.
Yes.
She didn't have any more legal authority because that power of attorney became null once the cabinet got involved and froze the accounts, right?
Yes.
And you're also aware that the cabinet took control of the home at
Yes.
Beach Street.
Yes.
And Ann Rush wasn't allowed to go back to that home, was she?
Correct.
And the cabinet hired an auctioneer to sell the home and to sell all the things in the home.
It's my understanding, yes.
And Ann Rush wasn't allowed to go back in that home and just take what she wanted, was she?
I believe so.
You believe I'm correct? She wasn't allowed.
Correct, yes.
She was never allowed to go back in there. And if those receipts had been in that home, do you remember, I know you drove by that home a lot and you spent time, you remember the cabinet getting a great big dumpster and having it brought over and put in the front yard at Beach Street? And the cabinet going through there and deciding what stuff was worth selling at the auction and what stuff was trash and throwing a whole dumpster worth of stuff away?
I'm not aware of that. I don't know.
You never saw a dumpster in the yard?
No, sir.
Okay. But you agree with me that if those receipts that you were waiting on had been in that home and Ann Rush was not allowed to go back into that home, then that might explain where those receipts, why you never got those receipts and you're still waiting on them.
Okay. That's yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And you said that Ann repeatedly told you what she was voluntarily speaking to you. And now her dad's a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Ann's dad's a lawyer. Ann's uncle's a lawyer here in town, right next door to this place. And you agree with me that Ann, and she told you she had a lawyer in Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
And in your experience as a detective, you know that when it comes to a criminal investigation, what do lawyers normally tell their clients?
Not to talk.
Not to talk to the police. That's just common, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But yet Ann Rush has, her father is a criminal defense attorney, her uncle's a lawyer, and she's got another lawyer she mentioned to you in Louisville, but yet she still voluntarily comes in and talks to you and cooperates with you and answers your questions. Doesn't she?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And she told you, when you questioned all these transactions, she told you that Granny, as you said, Granny was okay with it. Granny's fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you sit here today, you don't have any evidence to contradict Ann Rush's statement that Granny was fine with it, do you?
I disagree with you.
You disagree with her. Mm-hmm. Now, you can't, I know you're dying to tell me a bunch of stuff, a bunch of hearsay and stuff that's not admissible, but is it sufficient to say that the evidence you have that Granny isn't fine with it? Because that's what you disagree with, right? Mm-hmm. You think Granny wasn't fine with it.
Correct.
And the evidence that you have that Granny wasn't fine with it has been presented in this trial, hasn't it? Yes.
I agree, yes.
That's all my questions. Thank you, Detective.
Mr.